State Lake. This time of year the water is always quite a bit lower. This is going up the French Gulch Road. Somebody crossed out the S in the Q. It says land back. Huh. Not sure what that's about, but I do know geographically there's a lot of place names with the word squaw, and a lot of those places have been renamed, including Squaw Lakes, because it's seen as a derogatory word for indigenous women. So instead of Squaw Lakes, they renamed it to Acorn Woman Lakes. There's been a lot of rockfall throughout, just small little heaps like this, and a lot of it's just this brittle. I thought it was might be a soapstone, because I can definitely cut with my finger, but then some of it's hard, so it's probably a type of schist. There you have it. There's the new sign. Okay, so this is one of the access points for Squaw Lakes. Yeah, Acorn Woman Lake. Who honestly thinks of these names? Okay, so this is the big parking lot for the Summit Lake Trail. This is what I'm going to be taking. Alright, I'm actually looking forward to this trail. I've seen it on the map a few times, I just never thought to actually do it. But before I do that, I am going to launch the drone and we're going to fly over and check out the lakes. Leaving the parking lot already, there's some downed trees and branches. Little outhouse. What a super lovely January day. the last month or so has been really stormy, a lot of flooding. And the last storm passed through yesterday. And as you can see, at about 4,000 feet, little dusting of snow. Okay, I'm just about at the ridge, the junction here on top of Elliott Creek Ridge. I'm gonna head off this way a couple hundred feet because I can see what looks to be Summit Lake. There's a barbed wire fence going all the way around this thing, I think. I sure do love the winter lighting. It's just so blastingly bright. It's a nice blue sunny day. Doesn't seem like the lake is really frozen at all. I'm at about 4,600 feet. Tiny little thing. I'm surprised they even call it a lake. I'll do a couple of little aerial shots, and then I think I'm going to venture a little bit east along the ridge. About a mile away is this little open meadow, probably no bigger than this, called Oak Flats. I did see what looked like bike tracks throughout the way up, but with all the amount of debris that was on the ground, I didn't feel like taking my bike out. It doesn't really help me out. It's barely holding up. And veer off to this little small viewpoint. And in the distance there we can see the Red Buttes to the left, right in the middle of the screen. It's pretty low on the horizon. You can see the tip of Preston Peak. Now we're back in schist country. And this is the crest of the Siskiyous. There goes Scraggy Mountain. I did that peak 4 years ago. That's where all that blue schist deposit is. And this all is, of course, in California. The state line is pretty close to me. In fact, I think the Elliott Creek Valley is in the California side. I want to say, what, 2 years ago, I did a little trek up in there, and that's where the Blue Ledge mine is. A couple of shafts and interesting passageways. I was able to explore one of the passages, found a big deposit of soapstone that had tons of small, bright gemmy green actinolite crystals. It's really pretty. I have it in my collection stowed away. Oh wow. Speaking of the devil, I think this is soapstone right here. Freshly sawed too. I'm not sure what these pieces are doing up here. Yeah, pretty sure just by the appearance. Oh, that's cool. Oh wow. Just down the slope here. Actually, we're gonna walk to it. Well, somebody obviously came up here with a rock saw. And that's probably what those pieces are. This really doesn't make any sense because it had taken a lot of energy just to haul those pieces up here, and then let alone cut in through here. Cromwell GC12 KC16, and this is one big giant boulder of soapstone, or talc, for those of you who aren't familiar with soapstone. On the Mohs hardness scale, it has a hardness of 1. Diamond, of course, is at a 10. And soapstone is found a lot in this Applegate lake area. I wouldn't be surprised if all these boulders here are outcroppings of soapstone. Most soapstone you can carve. There are some varieties of it that may have a lot of chrysotile, better known as asbestos, in it. Oh yeah, these are all my cuts, the white, but when it's freshly cut, it gives off kind of this very almost translucent green color to it. I'm looking in the general southeast direction, and the oak flats should be somewhere in this vicinity here, a little bit further down. It's crazy. This is all solid ponderosa forest. I did not expect to find something like this here in the extreme southern end of Oregon. So a lot of the schist here has these cubic crystals. I want to say that they're crystals of limonite. I don't know for sure, but limonite tends to, it's not a, I don't believe it's a valid mineral species. It is basically a rock that takes on a crystal pseudomorph after another mineral. So this would be limonite as a pseudomorph of what I would assume to be pyrite, fool's gold. I rounded this sharp corner. This will be my turnaround spot. I'd love to keep on going. Due to daylight, if I had a couple more hours, I would hike all the way to Lily Mountain. I'm still going to fly over there. Summit Lake is tucked somewhere in there at the end of the road. And now I gotta do the haul all the way back down, almost 2,000 feet down. Okay, made it back with still some light in the air.